Welcome to Africa Mojo Tours and Transfers. We are a tour operating company based in Johannesburg, and today we'll be taking you on a 6 days Johannesburg and Kruger National Park tour. On the first day, you will arrive at the OR Tambo International Airport, where our team will be waiting for you to welcome you and then transfer you to your overnight accommodation in Sandton. You will arrive at your overnight accommodation and get comfortable in your new environment while waiting for the second day of the tour. On the second day, we will start our history and culture tour with a Johannesburg day tour called Pretoria, Soweto and Apartheid Museum day tour, which will begin at the Voortrekker Monument. The planning of the monument was done from 1931 by Afrikaner Cultural Organization, and on the 16th of December 1949, the monument was introduced. This date was selected to coincide with the commemoration of the Battle of Blood River. In 1999, the management of the monument launched a campaign to change the perception of the monument. It was based on its cultural significance rather than its political meaning. In 2011, the Voortrekker Monument was declared a National Heritage Site as a clear indication that changes made were deemed positive, and we are going to spend about an hour on this National Heritage Site. Our second stop will be Paul Kruger House Museum. This was the last house of Paul Kruger where he lived, and today it is a museum displaying life during the days he stayed in this house. Paul Kruger resided here between 1884 and 1900 before he left for Europe in exile. From the Kruger House, our next stop will be Church Square. During its early years, the square was used as a marketplace and sports field. There is a statue of Paul Kruger elected at Church Square to celebrate his contribution as a president in South Africa. Church Square has a famous Palace of Justice where Nelson Mandela was sentenced to life in prison. We will spend only a few minutes at the square and head on to the next visit, which is the Union Buildings. Union Buildings form part of the logo of Pretoria, which is the administrative capital of South Africa. The sandstone building started in 1910 to commemorate South Africa's union status obtained in that year. Union Buildings form part of the official seats of South African government, and it also houses the official seating of the South African president. After spending about 30 minutes learning about the history of this place and taking pictures, we will go to the next stop, which is Apartheid Museum. Apartheid Museum has clear-cut history on what happened during apartheid era in South Africa before freedom in 1994. The museum is divided into 3 exhibitions which all have valuable information on the apartheid history. After spending an hour at the museum, our 6th stop will be the famous Orlando Towers, which is located at the heart of Soweto. We will take some photos and get a bit of history about these towers, which also offer bungee jumping facilities. These towers have an important history that will be shared by our tour guide, and also why they are important on the Soweto Township tours. After stopping for a few minutes, our next visit will be at the Hector Peterson Museum. The museum is located in Orlando West, 2 blocks away from where Hector Peterson was shot and killed during school protests in 1976 on the 16th of June. Today, the 16th of June is recognized as a public holiday in South Africa. We are going to do a 30 minutes tour in the museum and getting to learn about the importance of the 1976 youth struggle. Going to our next visit, we will drive past VILAKAZI Street, the only street in the world which can boast having 2 Nobel Award winners as residents. VILAKAZI Street is the heartbeat of Soweto tourism, and at the corner of the street will be our next visit, which is Mandela House. The former South African President Nelson Mandela and his family lived here from 1946 into the 1990s. He then donated the house to the Soweto Heritage Trust, of which he was the founder, on the 1st of September 1997 to be run as a museum. This was the last tour highlight of the day. Now you will be transferred back to your overnight accommodation in Sandton, where you will rest and look forward to the third day of the tour. On the third day, we will go on a Cradle of Human Kind and Lesedi Cultural Village tour, where we will explore Maruping Museum. This is a museum that has stories that explain the evolution of humankind. You will take a journey through time, starting with the formation of the planet before moving all the way to the evolution period until the world we call home today. The site comprises a strip of 1,000 dolomite limestone caves containing fossil remains of ancient forms of animals, plants, and most importantly, hominids. Maruping is a Setswana name which means returning to the origins. Sterkfontein Caves are world famous for their fossil finds, and we will explore these caves for about an hour with a site guide and also get an experience walking and crawling on these caves. They are owned by the University of the Witwatersrand. We will get an opportunity to explore an actual cultural village which is home to different African cultures. We will be welcomed by a group of traditional dancers who will be in their traditional attire for the duration of the tour. We will also visit the tribal villages of the Zulu, Xhosa, Sotho, Pedi, and Ndebele and get to learn about their deep traditional beliefs. In the village, you're going to meet real people, enter their homes, and listen to stories about their individual cultures and rituals of daily life. It is at Lesedi Cultural Village where you will learn that South Africa has a rich diversity of people and cultures and 11 official languages. After the tour ends, we will transfer you back to your overnight accommodation in Sandton, where you're gonna spend your last few hours in Gauteng province. On the fourth day, we will leave the hotel very early in the morning and begin our road trip to Mpumalanga province to our afternoon Kruger National Park safari. After 2 hours of driving, our first pit stop will be at Middelburg, where you can use the restroom or grab something to eat at your own cost. And this is an excellent halfway stop to Kruger National Park, where you can watch rhinos, buffalo, and other animals while having breakfast. Then we will proceed to drive to Hazy View to check into our accommodation, and once we have arrived at our pre-booked accommodation in Hazy View, we will spend about 30 minutes doing the check-in process, getting comfortable in our new environment, and then embarking on an afternoon Kruger safari, which might be shared or private. After paying for Kruger National Park conservation fees, we will begin our afternoon Kruger National Park safari. This is a preview of what you will see in the park. After the 4-hour safari, we will head back to your hotel in Hazy View and prepare for the next day's safari, which will be a full-day Kruger National Park safari. On the 5th day, we will arise very early in the morning and have an opportunity to see African sunrise in the distance. Then we will get a pre-packed breakfast from the hotel and start our morning safari. We will enter through the nearest gate, which is Phabeni Gate, to pay for Kruger National Park conservation fees. And once we are done with all the paperwork, We will begin our best safari in South Africa, where we will finally get an opportunity to come face to face with the Big Five. This is a preview of what you will experience at the park. Your lunch will be at the famous Skukuza camp that is located in the Kruger National Park on the shores of Sabi River at your own cost. After our full-day adventure, we will finally head back to our hotel in Hazy View, where we will get some rest and prepare to depart the following day from Mpumalanga and end our Johannesburg and Kruger National Park tour. On the 6th and final day, you will wake up from your hotel in Hazy View and start packing and preparing for the road trip going back to Johannesburg. We will end our tour with a drop-off at the airport or any establishment in Johannesburg. Our tour runs every day from 7 in the morning to approximately 4 in the afternoon. You can book it online or on our website, and the contact details will be on the next slide. Thank you for joining our virtual tour. We look forward to seeing you soon.